right, let's get right into the dailies. We'll give you a raft of stories that are happening on the various newspapers. And you wanna kickstart with the daily graphic?
Right. On the front page of the daily graphic, we have condom use among polyamorous persons low, and that's by a health survey. And I have a problem with that.
You have a problem with that?
Yes.
Why do you have a problem with that?
I have a problem with that because people really do not understand how STDs are spreading fast.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And being polyamorous, I think if you're in a polyamorous relationship, this one is not saying polygamy. So polyamorous means everybody knows that we are all together.
We are days, eh?
Yes. I think you should all, make an effort to...
So I think polyamorous is being used instead of polygamous.
Polygamous.
Because polygamous is having multiple women.
True. Mm.
Do you understand?
Right.
As a man having multiple women. But polyamorous is like
Yes. And the good thing,
so men have multiples.
What
women
I
have
think
multiples.
about polyamorous is normally the whole concept of being polyamorous is everybody knows that.
And you're all aware.
We're all in this party together. You understand? So nobody's hiding.
That's a dangerous party.
It cannot work in Africa.
It's a dangerous party. Anyway, so nobody's interested. The Ghana Statistical Service has their report that came out has a lot of issues.
A lot of
in the health
issues.
area. A lot of issues in the health area.
And it makes me question myself. I mean, not myself. It makes me question them a bit. Like, how did you come up with all this?
How about they ask questions?
Well. Anyway.
Put questionnaires and people answer the questions now.
Okay. On to the next. Stanbic Bus urges graduates to embrace discovery. And centenary celebration, Kolebu upgrades 30 wards. UK backs Ghana on adhering to IMF convictions. Be flexible, make election outcomes acceptable to all. And that's by Prof. Ayi, urging the EC. PAC proposes third layer to validate salaries of GES staff.
Okay. Now, the Ghanaian Times has these headlines here. It says, don't transfer project funds to MP's personal accounts. And MP secures injunction against declaration of Wale Wale parliamentary primary results. We also have 5 groups demand 60% district assembly appointees as women. Okay. Affirmative action going on there. The president rallies African leaders support for AFCFTA and calls for efforts to unlock $450 billion for continent. Okay, that's at the Africa-Italy summit that's ongoing. Chiefs visit La General Hospital construction site, and that's what we have for the Ghanaian Times.
All right, so on the front page of the New Finder, NPA revises mode of LPG importation to reduce cost and improve efficiency. Jinapor 6 large-scale miners for dollar power. FSRP to roll out 2 million broiler project driven by ECOWAS with World Bank funding.
Okay, now we have the Daybreak. And on the front page of the Daybreak, it says here, alarm blow at GRA. Amish in inappropriate contract transfer to India. We have customs bust at post at 61. Question being asked here. It's very interesting. It's almost like one person's wahala is digging up other people's issues. I wonder how many people are at post at beyond 60 in the public service when really they shouldn't be per our laws. Now, of course, we know that it's possible to be issued a special contract for a short duration of time, but the law says if your services are specialized and required, we can't easily find your services.
Else like you.
But, Ghana now, they like school plenty, so
it's going to be hard for a lot of
exactly. Anyway, MPA revises LPG import mode, and Amwama goes home today.
All right, so on the front page of the Chronicle, let's put the primary behind us and work towards victory, and that's by Fred Che Asamoah. Nurses leave Ghana in droves, and that's by the GHS. And I think that's a problem, you know that.
Yeah.
When the medical personnel that we need are just leaving the country.
But so on one hand, I feel that the level, we've taken it for granted for too long. That, oh, nurses, don't worry, they need employment, so they will come, right? I think that the conditions under which they work, and I'm giving you one example. I believe that it's important for people, and it's not just nurses, but a group like nurses, for example, when somebody chooses to go and work in, let's say, instead of working in Accra, let's say they choose to go and work in Samraboy, as an example, right, or Asankrabwa, as an example.
And it's a rural area.
Yes, far away from Accra, right? I believe that just like this done in the UN, when you do out of station service, right? Stations that you are sent to that you can't easily take your entire family there.
Yeah.
Because the conditions are more difficult, the niceties of life are not available, all those things. You need to, first of all, increase their salary.
Yeah.
Okay? And compensate them extra. So you make sure you take care of their rent, you take care of various other things, and then give them a little extra because they've chosen to go into settings that are more challenging than being in Accra.
Right.
Right. If you put those in place, guess what's going to happen? A lot of people especially when they are younger,
yes.
they will say, listen, I'm not married yet, I don't have any children, dependents. Let me just go. The next 5 years, let me go and hustle and come back. You see, is that not what we do in Ghana?
Sure.
Let me go and hustle and do what? Come back. That's what we do because we feel like the incentives are more.
You're right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
You done with the chronicle?
No, we have jury system should be scrapped. Godfrey Yeboah-Dame speaks. It delays some of the cases in court. And the Bible reading from today comes from Proverbs 31 verse 9. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy.
All right. The Daily Guide has these headlines here. It says, Cozy continues her good gestures. Listen to this, most young women are having raw sex, in quote. Raw sex.
So why you...
GSS is the same report.
So, okay, great. I understand. But why is it young women? Young women have sex with young men too.
Wait, but remember the headline you read?
Yeah, polyamorous.
The condom use among polyamorous persons is low.
Yeah.
So it's linked.
I understand that, but why make it a women thing?
It's the person's chosen the way they're about to do the headline of the story.
Who are the women having the sex with?
The
raw sex with?
The condom use is low. It's the same thing. New EC reforms will bring chaos. That's Mahama speaking. British government applauds Ghana. Major Mahama trial catalyst for change. That's it for the Daily Guide.
Right.
And let's do some online stories briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's head to citynewsroom.com and we have some headlines here. Strike by teacher unions unmeritorious and needless, and that's by the NLC. And we also have top trending stories. I left Millicom because people thought a Ghanaian couldn't manage it. And that's by Dad Devor. CSIR unveils first ever wildfire museum, installs 100 kVA solar power system at Fumeswa.
Yeah.
And MTN Ghana CEO reflects on COVID-19 impacts, unprecedented network pressure, and lasting changes. Lastly, we have here rotational nurses and midwives give government 2 weeks ultimatum to pay their allowances.
There's a lot of things happening in the health sector, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, there's a few other headlines here. It says that it's better to learn under trees than to be uneducated. No doubt, but hey, you shouldn't be the one saying this when you have been mandated with the responsibility to make sure that we remove schools from under trees.
True.
It's almost like a ridiculous justification.
Right.
For a problem that should not exist.
True. And it's
in
easy
2024.
to say. It's easy for the person to say, but my question is, can you allow your children to stay under the tree?
His students don't go to school under trees.
That's the thing.
No, his students don't go to school under trees.
I think it's a wrong.
I don't think his cousins go to school under trees. His siblings don't go to school under trees. Yeah. Anyway, it says here, stop stigmatizing persons living with HIV/AIDS. This is AIDS Commission to Ghanaians. Now, NDC supports Mohammed's position on same-sex marriages. Sam George speaking here. Anti-gay bill likely to be passed by March. Again, Sam George. We have Ashanti region residents want Baumia Napo ticket, but of course they would. Napo is one of their, main stars. Now, more health stories. 1 out of 10 young women had sex before turning 15.
It's a problem.
But this headline here actually means that the police need to start working together with both the Ghana Statistical Service as well as the Ghana Health Service to start arresting people.
Of course.
Because guess what? The age of consent in Ghana is 16. What does that mean? A person who is not yet 16 cannot give consent, even if they say, it's nice, I want it. You are not allowed to give consent for sex. Now, what that means is that it's statutory rape and defilement, which is a crime.
No, and you see, my problem is, we say it, and the way they put it out there, somebody might read it and see, oh, it's normal.
Yeah.
Because when you go on social media, you actually hear people say, oh, people have been doing it. But I've realized a lot of people do not understand the
fact that
meaning
people
of
have been doing
statutory rape.
Doesn't
they
mean
do not understand that someone under the age of consent cannot consent.
You can't consent.
A child cannot consent.
Yeah.
Because I could tell if a child stays in front of me and I tell the child, do this and I'll give you this. She would agree.
Of course they will agree.
You understand? Oh, it will not pain you. Take. She would agree. You understand? And I feel like there needs to be a lot more education when it comes to issues of, this sort of violence, because definitely this is gender-based violence.
So the interesting thing is that the act itself may not be violent, but in terms of the proper assessment of what has happened, the man has violated the girl. That's actually what it is.
For me, I think it's violent. It's violent. It's violent.
Even if it's gentle and she's saying that she's happy about it.
It is violent. I feel like it's violent because you violated.
Explain.
Yes, because you violated her body.
But that's what I said.
Well, even if it doesn't.
Once you violated,
so
you've without it being physically aggressive, once you violated the person, it's an act of violence against the person, right? I think it's very important to bear this in mind. 2 out of 10 married men, listen, 2 out of 10 married men had 2 or more sexual partners in 2022.
Make it 8.
This study is
make it 8.
damning. Make it what?
8.
Why? Do your own study and make it 8.
But that's my study.
What's your study?
8.
Where's the report?
In my house.
In your house. You have kept the report at home. All right. It's time for sports review. Don't go anywhere. All right. Now, on the sporting front, the biggest, Premier League on Citi News. The biggest match of week 22 took place at Anfield as Liverpool and Chelsea met in the first match. The Reds were playing after Jurgen Klopp announced that he would leave the club at the end of the season. Now, the Reds beat Chelsea 4-1. It bears repeating. The Reds, they beat Chelsea 4-1 thanks to goals from, and hear this, Diogo Jota, Conor Bradley. By the way, Conor Bradley is an academy boy, newbie. He also scored. Dominic Soboslai and Luis Diaz, while Christopher Nkunku got Chelsea's consolation. lucky one there. The win opened up a 5-point goal difference between Liverpool and Manchester City, who beat Burnley 3-1 at the Etihad. Now, birthday boy Julian Alvarez scored twice to cap the day for him, while Rodri scored the third in the second half. Now, Burnley got a consolation through Amin Al-Dakhil in the 93rd minute. Now, in North London, Tottenham came back from a goal down to beat Brentford 3-2 at the Tottenham Stadium. Now, Neil Maupay gave Brentford the lead in the first half, but Spurs found 3 goals in 8 second half minutes from Destiny Udogie, Brennan Johnson, and Richarlison. Now, Ivan Toney scored for Brentford, but it only turned out to be a consolation. The Premier League continues on Thursday with West Ham taking on Bournemouth and Manchester United traveling to Wolves. Now, some other news. Lionel Messi, the napkin on which 13-year-old Lionel Messi's first Barcelona contract was signed, is to be auctioned with a starting price of, get this, £300,000. Starting price of £300,000. The napkin, signed in December 2000, carries a commitment from the then Barca director, Carlos Rezak, to sign Messi. It was also signed by Josep Minguella, and a transfer advisor to the club at the time, and an agent, Horacio Gagioli, who recommended the Argentine. Now, Messi joined Barca a month later and went on to be their record goal scorer. He made his debut at age 16 and scored 672 goals in 778 games for the Catalan club. The napkin was signed at a meeting arranged by Rezac, who invited Messi's father, Jorge, to lunch after concerns from the Messi family about a lack of response from Barca following the teenager's initial trial. Wow, interesting times. Yeah. Chris, £300,000. The napkin. Yeah.
Wow.
£300,000. Chinese people have money to do things, so £300,000.
And someone will buy it.
I wonder even what the state of the napkin is.
Sweaty.
24 years after.
Yeah.
The napkin is costing $300,000 minimum.
So, for the thought that they even preserved it.
Yeah.
That's something that
That's something else, right?
that's something,
Yeah. Some people are doing things, man.
They actually preserved it.
Anyway.